BBC Radio Lancashire. Maria Felix Vass.
On BBC Radio Lancashire.
Yes, hello and welcome to Lunchtime Favourites this Saturday, coming live from Thornton. And I'm going to be chatting to some of the Windmill Players today and finding out about their latest production, which is Outside Edge, and also playing you a selection of their favourite tunes. And let's face the music and dance. Nat King Cole there. What a great song to start us off and get us in a theatrical mood, because we've come to the theatre today. And I've come to Thornton Little Theatre, where a get-in is happening. That's what they call it in the business. And the get-in, they've travelled far from literally across the car park, where there is the Windmill Players base. And they are taking all their props and everything over to Thornton Little Theatre to build the set today ahead of a play that they're doing here on Tuesday. So without much further ado, let's walk into the theatre, because I'd like to introduce you to my first guest today, who is David Twizzle. Now, David, you are the producer of this particular play, so tell us about which play it is. Hello.
Right, yes, I'm the director of this play, and it's Outside Edge, and it's about a cricket team and preparing for the big match against the local champions, and Roger is the captain. He's getting everything ready, ship-shape, with his long-suffering wife, who, in fact, in truth, does all the work. And the rest of the team arrive. Sadly, they don't really like each other very much. And if the rest of the team don't like each other, the women like each other even less.
And how did you hear about the play? Because did you choose the play, and as a member of the Windmill Players, you chose it, so you wanted to have a go at directing this one?
Yep. I think I saw this play originally on TV about 30 years ago, and it appealed to me because it's an ensemble play, so you've got 8 or 9 people in it, so you get a sort of a community sense from the play. And it had a set that I thought we could probably cope with in this theatre.
And that's what they are doing at the moment. They're building the set, which looks like they're building a bar, office. We'll find out a little bit more about what's going on at the stage here at the moment as we speak a little bit later. But for now, as you know, the programme's about different choices of tunes. And this next one, you can hear now, it's started. It's a beautiful tune. What is it?
Yeah, we've got Dreadlock Holiday by 10cc.
That was one of the choices of tunes for one of my Lunchtime Favourites guests today. And David, why did you choose that? Just remind us again what your play's about.
Well, this play's about cricket and the people who don't get on with each other, and that tune's got the wonderful line, "I don't like cricket, I love it."
Wonderful. Listen, I've got to find out about your accent, because it's not a Blackpool one, but we'll do that in a little while, because for now it's 11:15 and it's time for Back With You on Monday. But for now, this is Lunchtime Favourites, and today I'm live at the Thornton Little Theatre ahead of the Windmill Players play, which at the moment the Windmill Players team company are organising all the props and the stage set, because the play opens on Tuesday, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We're opening on Tuesday, go through till Saturday.
And this is the first play, David, that you have directed fully. How long have you been a member of the Windmill Players?
Yeah, I've been with the Windmill Players about 4 years now. I did a play called Arsenic and Old Lace. That was my first go, and I've done 2 or 3 plays I've performed in since then.
You've got a London accent, so as I said, you're not from round here, but you've apparently lived here quite long, haven't you?
Yeah. Yes, yes. I don't know why I've never picked up a Lancashire accent, but I've moved here about 30 years ago, and in fact I've lived across the road from this theatre throughout that time.
Have you? So is that what got you into wanting to be a member here yourself?
Well, that was a bit of it. Yes, I think somebody had seen me in a musical theatre production, probably something like the Mikado, and they enticed me in to do some straight play.
But it's a brilliant members. The members are brilliant here. Let's go through. I love the facilities. You're very lucky to have this literally on your doorstep, the Thornton Little Theatre, because it's got a cafe attached to it here. And this is where I'm going to the next bit, because I'd like to now introduce Liz. Now, Liz is the chair of the Windmill Players. She's also another actor, artist, sometimes director. How long have you been a member for, Liz?
Oh, I think about 10 years. Took me 2 years to get a part.
Did it? Did you?
Some very, very talented people.
Did you join because you wanted to act?
I wanted to try acting. I'd never done it before, so... Yeah.
And you're still doing it 10 years on then?
Oh, yes. Yes, whenever I can get a part.
So are you in this play as well?
No, I'm not in this play, no. I just love to make people laugh. I think that's such a gift to give somebody, to give them a good laugh. And this is a good laugh. This play is, everybody will have a really good time when they come.
So from being here now, a Windmill player for 10 years then, and now you are the chair, that's a good step up within your career here of this, of the Windmill Players. You obviously love it though, don't you? Very passionate about what Windmill Players do.
Well, yes. I've been chair for 2 years now. Took over from Betty, who was a hard act to follow, of course. They're just such a family. You really feel you've got friends.
I must admit, when myself and Georgia walked in today and we came to find you and we came to this little cafe bit here, and the first thing we were offered was, would you like a cup of coffee and some toast? Well, I mean, but the amount of people here all being busy, giving up their time. At the end of the day, you volunteered, and all the people who are building the set at the moment, it's a great team. I can see that, and it's got a lot of history about it. Let's find out a little bit more about that history in a minute, but one of your first tunes that you've chosen for us today is Hugh Laurie. What's he singing and why have you chosen this one?
I really sort of discovered him sort of doing the blues on the Jules Holland show, and I was just amazed because he's an actor, sort of thing, and this is another string to his bow, isn't it? And I do love blues, but this is a slightly upbeat one. It's called You Don't Know My Mind.
Hugh Laurie there singing You Don't Know My Mind. Fantastic tune there, chosen by Liz. Liz, please say your surname before I say it wrong, because I said David's wrong before. I apologise. We spoke to the director of this new play that's going on here by the Windmill Players, and it's David Twizel, and I called him a different name. So what's your surname?
It's Danielevich.
Thank you very much, Liz. I'll just stick with Liz. Now, Liz, what we've done is we've come out of Thornton Little Theatre and we've come here into the Windmill Players base, your home. But this is a fantastic facility. Any drama group within Lancashire would probably be quite jealous if they don't have a permanent base. But having said that, you've not always had a permanent base, and you have only acquired this space here since when? January?
End of January we moved in here. It's absolutely brilliant because it's just across the car park from the theatre.
Perfect.
Yes, we've got an area to build the sets in. We've got an area that is almost the size of the stage to actually rehearse on. We've got a costume room with a large range of costumes which we are starting to hire out if anybody's interested. We've also got kitchen, toilets and a small area for props. That's our only little that's not quite right, is the fact that we haven't got enough area for props.
So do your houses end up taking over with all the different props that you acquire? Because you must have acquired quite a few props. I know you've only been with the theatre for 10 years, but the Windmill Players has been going for some time, hasn't it?
Yes, well, next year will be our 70th anniversary. It started in 1946. So we are going to plan a couple of events for next year, sort of just to celebrate that, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Listen, I'm going to catch up with you some more a little bit after this next tune, but this tune now taken up, it certainly is, and with me, as ever, I have Georgia Toohey, my trusty assistant, who we set a challenge for every week. Now, being a theatrical student, I'm sure that you are desperate to get on that stage, but they are busy doing a get-in.
Unfortunately, they are, so I'm having to take a back seat today.
You are, but We've sent you over there earlier to find something appropriate to wear, and in their costume department you've actually found some proper overalls, haven't you?
Yes, they're a really nice beige colour and they're full of paint, so I'm looking very glamorous right now, and then I'm going to go in there and help the guys out.
Offer to help.
I'm probably going to sit on the deck chair that they've got, actually, as a prop, and just see that it's sturdy enough, for the use of the show.
No, you're going to get a paintbrush and go and help paint the set. Thank you very, very much, Georgia. She goes off into the theatre there to paint. I'm going to take you into the tea room, because what I do like about this is that they're all helping themselves to tea and toast, which is good, because all the people who are doing the stage here, setting it all up, who are here for the get-in, they're volunteers at the end of the day, and they're doing it for the love of it because they're involved in the theatre company, and that's the best thing about the Windmill Players. So now it's time to meet a couple more of them. Hello again. Hello. I like the fact that you are such a strong team that you all know what you're doing on these get-ins. How many different get-ins do you do, Liz? Every year?
Oh, we do 3 a year. Yes, we've got to play in February, June and October.
And all the people who are helping with the set, and literally, that doesn't fit, so we'll just go over to the workshop and saw a little bit off and go back and put it up, and making the roster and doing all the things that they're doing. You can only do that at a get-in, and then you can only work out if the sound and the lighting happens for the correctly at the technical rehearsal as well. So these are essential parts of working in any theatre. But for you, you've all got it down to a T. There's about 6 young lads, I'll call them, working there on the stage. Have they just always done this? Have they always assumed this role and ended up starting, continuing to help?
Yes, they have. We have in fact, there are more now than we used to have. We used to have about 4, but now I think we've got about 8, and they work every Monday morning building the set for the next play. And then when it's ready, they bring it. And sometimes part of the set is put on our rehearsal room floor so that the cast can work amongst it. Like in this one, it's got a long bar because it's a cricket pavilion, and they've had that there for a couple of months so that the cast can actually work in it.
And is the bar fully functional as far as alcohol as well?
No, not quite.
You've loved these rehearsals.
No, but it's been so good that the actors have got part of the set to work on all the time instead of just suddenly facing it when they come over here.
And that, I suppose, is also the handiness, isn't it, of having the studio that you've got, the facilities that you've got. Now, Betty Horrocks, when you began here with the Windmill Players, obviously you didn't have that space over there. No. Things have changed, have they, over the years?
Oh, we had a church hall, and we used to rehearse in the church hall, and we had all our scenery above the church hall in a little door. We had to climb up the ladder and get all the props and scenery down, and we used to do our productions in this church hall. We used to paint there and put the flats outside to dry in the sun. It was so different then as it is now. It's quite semi-professional now.
It certainly is. Now, just tell us, because as you know, this programme's also about the tunes that you choose, and you've chosen another Nat King Cole tune here. Why have you chosen this one?
Well, it's personal to me and my husband, because he was so supportive of me whenever I came to do any acting or directing with the Windmill Players. But it's not just for us, it's for all the spouses and partners of all the people who work in the Windmill Players. We've got to have somebody at home who lets us go and says good luck and comes and supports us when we're doing our play. So really this is not just for Jack and myself, but for everybody in the society.
Beautiful, beautiful tune there, Nat King Cole, and it was chosen for Betty Horrocks. Memories of her husband Jack, but also the support that all spouses give to their other halves, and let them go and tread the boards and get that buzz of the theatre when they do something like the Windmill Players. And you've had fantastic times here, haven't you? And it's a good social life. You've made a lot of friends. I can tell that from walking in this morning with the tea and the toast on the go. And you're used to doing this. You're used to all meeting together, aren't you?
Oh, we are, yes. And we give each other a lot of support. we've made good friendships, and if there's a problem, then we rally around and try and sort it out. So yes, we give each other a lot. I got a lot of support from them when my husband died. But yeah, they're great. They're great. I've been a member for 40 years, is it? You've been how long?
40 years.
Is it 40 years? Something like that, yes.
And have you done all sorts then? Have you acted, been behind the scenes, helped out with props, done the tea, the coffee, directed, everything?
Directed, and Calendar Girls was the one that I enjoyed, because...
Were you in that?
No, I directed that. But Maureen, who's coming on next, was in it. She did the knitting and had the great balls of wool, to disguise everything. And the girls did strip off. But for Calendar Girls, we were given... Amateur groups were given a year to do the play, and part of the proceeds went to the Leukemia Association. We had an absolutely fantastic time. Full houses. We could have done it for 2 weeks, not just 1 week.
And just have to bring it back.
We can't do it now because they're making a musical of it called Girls. But Liz, whom you've spoken to, was our props with 2 others, and she was absolutely fantastic.
Wonderful. And for those memories of that play for Calendar Girls, here's Neil. And before Match Day Live at 2 o'clock, of course, it's Jamie Hoyland's Marvellous People. But I tell you what, Jamie, I've got a few marvellous people here with me today from the Windmill Players. We've had such good fun, and they're going to have even more fun this week. Now, Betty Horrocks, just very quickly, just tell me, plug the programme, the show, that you've got coming up this week. It's called Outside Edge. It opens on Tuesday. What time and where can people get tickets?
Well, people can get tickets by calling a phone number, or they can quickly whip into the library next door. There's somebody there selling them. It's on Tuesday to Saturday, 7:30. We've got some tickets left for Tuesday and Saturday, but the other nights I think it's going to be the very back row because it's booking up really, really well.
I think the best thing about the theatre here, the Thornton Little Theatre, is that the space is just so comfortable. It must be brilliant to work in, to perform on that stage. It's it's not too big, and it's not small though, but I think it seats about 200 people.
Yes, and we have that superb backstage stuff as well. The people who are building the set, but we have the chap. Why I've chosen Calendar Girls was because when I did Calendar Girls, Peter Jones is our sound man. He can find any piece of music you want for any play, and throughout Calendar Girls he chose music from the film, and then we did the curtain call to this Neil Sedaka, so that's the reason I chose it. He is superb at choosing pieces of music for the play. Our sound man, Peter Jones.
And if you want more people to volunteer and to take part, not just because they joined because they wanted to tread the boards for the first time, but also because they've got a bit of spare time, they're good at carpentry, they'll be good as another set designer or helping to make the set. How do they go about joining up with you? Do you meet regularly for them to come in and just pop by and say, hi, can I see what you do? Can I join in?
Yes, we rehearse Monday evenings and Thursday evenings in the studio, and the workshop people are there every Monday morning starting the set, building the set. And then you can go on our website and look us up and ask to join and come along and do all sorts of things, props and prompt and tread the boards, everything.
Now, you've been a member, as you said, Betty, for 40 years, which is an awful long time. And also, we have someone else we're going to meet in a minute, who's also been a member for that long and is a great friend of yours. But first of all, I've just got to find out how Georgia's doing with her challenge. So I'm just going to run through here to the theatre again, where they're busy painting and 5-minute break. You've been there for 10 minutes. Hello, boys. Hello.
Good morning, girls.
Has she been helpful at all?
Good afternoon. Very hard.
You're working very hard. Honestly, you've just been sat there on the deck chair, Georgia. I don't know. I'll find you a harder challenge for next week, I can tell you that. But moving back into the cafe area here to speak to now the lovely Maureen McRae. Now, you're the president of this society, of the Windmill Players. How long again have you been a member the same amount of time as Betty?
No, I've been a member for 60 years.
Oh, longer.
I joined in 1955 and my first play was in 1956, If This Be Error. Yes, I mean, we're involved with a lot of outside things. We do the murder mysteries at the libraries, and we were involved with the War Memorial at the knocked it for 6.
The ICI War Memorial. We did a story about that last week on BBC Radio Lancashire, and I think it was you that discovered it, wasn't it? Because I know the Windmill Players had a big part to play. You went there and when this needs tidying up, you can't read the names.
Exactly. My husband was at ICI, and I found it very, very sad that it was so neglected. And I just happened to mention to David Baxter, one of our great members, and he said, leave it with me, Maureen, and he got things going.
It certainly did, and only last week they got the new memorial there with all the correct names spelt properly on there. Now, the next song that you've chosen, which is a great one to end the programme with, is a Tina Turner one, but I do need to know from you all very quickly, do you sing in your productions, or is it purely, do you do some musical theatres, or is it purely acting?
Well, we've done a bit. We've done Chorus of Disapproval, where everybody had to sing something because it's got music in it, but we're not singing. Well, some of them are very good singers, but not me. I can't sing for toffee, but
Liz?
Yeah. No, they are plays. If the plays involve singing, then we have to do the singing. But we don't do musicals. You know, the operatics people do the musicals.
And what's been the favourite play, the most favourite play that you have been in or involved with? I'm going to ask you all that very quickly.
Oh,
I'll come back to you.
I think it's usually the last one I've done, which would be Plaza Suite last February, which was good fun.
Maureen and I played the two batchy old ladies in Arsenic and Old Lace. That was great, wasn't it?
and then Betty and I played in The Odd Couple, the ladies' version, which was super, and Betty was told that one of the nights that she was moving house, she came on stage and suddenly she walked off, and I thought, where on earth's she going? And I didn't know what to do, so I just got the vacuum and started vacuuming the flat until she came. I kept saying, are you coming back?
This was on the stage. Fantastic. Oh, listen, it's another programme to find out any errors or mistakes that may have happened on stage. For now, though, ending the programme with your final tune. It's been lovely meeting you all. Thank you very much for taking part. Good luck with your play. It's on from Tuesday for 4 days until the 24th, so enjoy it. I won't say break a leg, but just enjoy it. What's your last?
Simply the Best by Tina Turner. I love it. It gets me dancing, and because the Windmill Players are, in my opinion, simply the best on the Fylde coast.